Alright, Jake, I'm filming.
So guys, I'm in the hospital. I had an accident, broke my back.
I get my brain scanned at the hospital to see what's going on. Tell me how.
Oh yeah, bro, I got a new big hole right there.
Bro, I got a big hole in my brain, bro.
Oh my
Big ass hole right here.
I told you I feel stupider.
The boxing world reeled as news broke that Jake Paul had pulled the plug on his highly anticipated, albeit controversial, fight against Mike Tyson. This dramatic turn of events came just days after a video surfaced online, sending shockwaves through the combat sports community. The leaked footage depicted a sparring session between Paul and Tyson that quickly spiraled out of control. Despite being significantly older, Tyson unleashed a relentless flurry of vicious blows, leaving Paul overwhelmed and unable to defend himself. The clip ended with Paul slumped against the ropes, his face a mask of pain and humiliation. In the aftermath, speculation ran rampant. Was this a staged publicity stunt designed to drum up interest in the fight? Or was it a brutal reality check for Paul? A stark display of Tyson's raw power. Jake Paul, however, offered a different perspective. In a scathing social media post, he addressed the incident directly. "What you saw in that video," Paul wrote, "was not a sparring session. It was an assault. Mike Tyson never intended this to be a training exercise. He stepped into that ring with one goal: to hurt me as badly as he could." Paul went on to express his disappointment and disillusionment. "I've dedicated myself to this sport," he continued. "I've trained relentlessly, pushing myself to the limit. But after what happened, I can't, in good conscience, step into the ring with someone who so blatantly disregards the safety of his opponent." Paul's announcement sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Fans who had been eager to witness the YouTube star take on the legendary Tyson were left disappointed. Critics, who had always dismissed Paul's legitimacy as a boxer, took this as an opportunity to ridicule him further. However, not everyone mocked his decision. Many commended Paul for prioritizing his health and safety over the allure of a lucrative payday. The incident also reignited debates about the ethics of exhibition matches, particularly those involving older fighters who may not be operating at their physical peak. Paul did leave the door open for a potential rematch, but only under the condition that stricter safety measures be implemented. Still, the damage had been done. The brutal sparring session had cast a long shadow over the fight, raising serious questions about Tyson's intentions, while leaving Paul with a bruised ego and shaken confidence. As the fallout from the sparring video intensified, Paul didn't just cancel the fight. He took legal action. His team filed a $200 million lawsuit against Tyson, accusing him of assault. The lawsuit argued that Tyson's actions were not only excessive but premeditated and malicious. Paul's legal team claimed that the boxing legend entered the ring with the intent to inflict serious bodily harm, rather than engage in a controlled training exercise. Video evidence and witness testimonies were included to support these claims. This legal move added another explosive layer to an already dramatic situation. It sent a clear message. Paul wasn't going to tolerate what he saw as Tyson's brutality and was seeking significant financial compensation for both the physical and reputational damage he had suffered. Facing a storm of criticism and a hefty lawsuit, Mike Tyson finally broke his silence. In a fiery social media video, an agitated Tyson addressed the situation head-on. First of all, Tyson began, his voice laced with barely contained rage. This wasn't some ballet class. This was boxing training. And you gotta respect the damn sport. He then launched into his version of events. "This kid, Jake Paul," Tyson scoffed, "comes waltzing into the gym, full of himself, talking smack, disrespecting legends. He thinks boxing is some kind of YouTube prank." Well, guess what? It's not. According to Tyson, Paul's constant clowning and disrespect toward him and his team pushed him over the edge. He was making light of everything, mimicking my moves, calling me names. I told him to cut it out, showed him restraint, but he just kept pushing. Tyson then explained how the sparring session escalated. "We started light," he said. But then he got cocky, started throwing wild punches, showing no respect for technique. That's when I had to show him what happens when you mess around in the ring. The video then cut to a montage of Tyson's greatest hits, lightning-fast knockouts, ferocious combinations, all seemingly meant as a message to Paul. Maybe that little taste, Tyson concluded, his voice hardening, will knock some sense into him. Boxing ain't a game. It's about discipline, respect, and the will to win. If you don't have those things, you better stay out of the ring. Paul wasn't about to back down. In a fiery rebuttal, he doubled down on his accusations, launching a fresh wave of attacks in a social media video. Mike Tyson, Paul began, a smirk playing on his lips, says I was disrespecting the sport. Give me a break. The only disrespect I saw was him disrespecting basic human decency. Paul then systematically dismantled Tyson's narrative. He claims I was clowning around. I was there to train, not to put on a comedy show. And as for mimicking his moves, maybe if he remembered proper form himself, he wouldn't have gotten so triggered. But then Paul went further, venturing into controversial territory. Look, he continued, his tone turning serious. It's clear the man isn't well. He's living in the past, stuck in some glory day fantasy. And let's not forget the countless signs of brain damage. Right, this remark ignited a firestorm. While some had initially sympathized with Paul's stance, this comment was widely viewed as crossing the line. It reignited debates about the ethics of exploiting a fighter's potential health issues for personal gain. Paul, however, remained defiant. He wants to talk about respect. He asked, "Where was that respect when he launched into a full-blown assault on me?" Because let's call it what it was, assault, not a lesson, not tough love. Assault. Determined to keep the fight in the headlines, Paul amended his lawsuit to emphasize Tyson's aggression. "This isn't just about me," Paul declared in a live-streamed press conference. "This is about sending a message. Boxing isn't a free-for-all. There are rules, there's respect, and there's a damn good reason for them." The amended lawsuit now included additional witness testimonies and medical records to document the physical and emotional toll the incident had taken on Paul. However, critics pointed out that sparring is inherently intense and that any professional fighter should expect a certain level of aggression. Would this lawsuit set a dangerous precedent? Would it discourage older fighters from participating in exhibition matches? Would trainers and promoters become overly cautious, diluting the raw spectacle that attracts fans? One thing is certain. Jake Paul has transformed himself from YouTube star to boxer to legal crusader against unchecked aggression in the ring. Will he win in court, or will this entire saga prove to be just another well-orchestrated publicity stunt? Either way, the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson saga continues to dominate headlines, keeping the boxing world on edge.